Have you ever seen a country that can feel like two worlds at once? A place where towering glaciers sit beside roaring waterfalls, where desert silence turns into city rhythm, and where the sky changes from icy blue to golden sunset in a single day. Welcome to Argentina, a land of extremes, a place of raw beauty, and a country that will make you question everything you thought you knew about nature. In this video, we're not just traveling through Argentina, we're diving into the most breathtaking places that will make you feel alive, inspired, and completely speechless. From the frozen giants of Patagonia to the thunderous power of Iguazu, from vibrant Buenos Aires to the endless grasslands of the Pampas, we're about to explore the wonders that make Argentina one of the most incredible countries on Earth. So, get ready, because what you're about to see isn't just travel footage, it's a journey that will change the way you see the world. If you think you've seen the world's most beautiful landscapes, wait until Argentina hits your screen. This country is not just a place you visit, it's a place that changes you. And the first stop on this journey is a region so wild and dramatic, it feels like the edge of the world. Welcome to Patagonia, the land where nature doesn't just exist, it dominates. Patagonia stretches across southern Argentina, and the moment you arrive, you understand why it's legendary. The air is colder, the sky is clearer, and the silence is deeper. It's the kind of silence that makes you feel like the world is holding its breath. Here, mountains rise like ancient giants, glaciers carve the earth with powerful force, and the wind isn't just a breeze, it's a constant presence. One of the most unforgettable sights in Patagonia is the Perito Moreno Glacier. This is not just a glacier, it's a living wall of ice that moves, shifts, and grows. When you stand in front of it, you feel the true scale of nature. The ice stretches as far as the eye can see, with sharp blue tones and deep crevasses that look like cracks in a frozen world. Every few minutes, the glacier makes a low, powerful sound, like a giant breath. And then, without warning, a massive piece of ice breaks off and crashes into the water below. The impact is so loud it shakes the air. People come from all over the world to witness this moment because it feels like watching time itself break apart. But Patagonia isn't only about ice. The region is also home to the iconic landscapes of Torres del Paine. Here, the mountains rise sharply into the sky, their peaks piercing the clouds. The scenery is so dramatic that every viewpoint feels like a scene from a movie. The colors are intense deep greens, icy blues, and earth tones that make the landscape feel alive. Walking through Torres del Paine, you'll see forests, rivers, and lakes that look like they've been untouched for centuries. It's a place where nature feels pure, raw, and powerful. Patagonia is also a land of wildlife. Guanacos roam the plains, moving with calm and grace. Condors glide high above the mountains, their wings stretching wide like shadows in the sky. Foxes and pumas hide in the forests, always watching, always silent. Every moment in this region feels like a reminder that you are not the center of the world. You are just a guest. The true beauty of Patagonia is not only its landscapes, but the feeling it gives you. It makes you realize how small we are and how incredible the world is. The sky looks wider here. The air feels cleaner, and the land feels endless. You can spend hours walking through the wilderness and still feel like there is more to discover. The sunsets in Patagonia are unforgettable. As the sun begins to set, the mountains change color. The glaciers glow with a soft pink light, and the sky turns into shades of orange and purple. The wind continues to blow, and the silence becomes even deeper. It's a moment of pure beauty, a moment that makes you feel grateful just to be alive. Patagonia is not a place you can rush through. It's a place you need to experience slowly. Every step reveals a new view, every turn brings a new surprise, and every moment feels like a gift. And this is just the beginning of our journey through Argentina. Because if Patagonia feels like the end of the world, then the rest of Argentina is waiting to show you that the world still has more to offer. If you think Argentina's beauty is only found in ice and mountains, you're about to be proven wrong. The next destination is a place where water doesn't just flow, it roars, crashes, and fills the air with a constant thunder. This is one of the most powerful natural wonders on Earth, and the moment you see it, you'll understand why people call it unforgettable. Welcome to Iguazu Falls. Iguazu Falls sits on the border between Argentina and Brazil. And it's not just one waterfall, it's a massive system of waterfalls stretching across a wide river, creating a scene that feels both wild and endless. The first time you approach the falls, you'll notice the sound before you see the water. The roar grows louder with every step, like a storm that never ends. Then, suddenly, the mist appears, rising from the river like smoke. And finally, you see it, a wall of water, powerful and unstoppable. The most famous part of Iguazu is the Devil's Throat. This is where the river drops dramatically, creating a U-shaped cliff that seems to swallow everything in its path. When you stand on the viewing platform, you feel the force of the water in your chest. The mist hits your face, and the air feels charged with energy. It's a moment that makes you feel alive, like you're standing at the edge of nature's power. What makes Iguazu truly special is its scale. The falls stretch across the landscape, with hundreds of separate cascades pouring down at different heights and speeds. Some fall gently, like ribbons of water, while others crash down with a violent force. The river below is turbulent and wild, constantly moving and changing. No photo can fully capture the scale of this place. You need to see it in person to understand its true power. The jungle surrounding Iguazu is also part of the experience. The area is a natural reserve, filled with dense forests and incredible wildlife. Birds fly through the mist, and butterflies appear in colorful swarms, creating a scene that feels magical. The air is humid and filled with the scent of wet earth and plants. Every path you take leads to a new viewpoint, and every viewpoint offers a different perspective on the falls. One of the most memorable moments at Iguazu is walking along the trails that lead you closer to the water. As you move deeper into the jungle, the sound grows louder, and the mist becomes thicker. You can feel the ground shake slightly as the water crashes below. The experience is not just visual, it's physical. You can feel the power of the falls in your body. At sunset, Iguazu becomes even more dramatic. The sky turns into shades of orange and purple, and the water reflects the colors like a mirror. The mist rises higher, and the entire landscape feels like it's glowing. It's a moment of beauty that feels almost surreal, like the world has paused for a second to show you something incredible. Iguazu Falls is more than a destination. It's a reminder of how powerful nature can be. It's a place that humbles you, because it shows you something bigger than yourself. And after you experience this, you begin to understand why Argentina is considered one of the most diverse and beautiful countries in the world. But the journey doesn't end here. Argentina still has more surprises, more landscapes, and more wonders waiting to be discovered. And the next destination will take us to a place that looks like it belongs on another planet. If you think Argentina's landscapes are only about glaciers and waterfalls, get ready for something completely different. The next destination looks like it was created in a dream, a place where the earth has been shaped into strange, surreal formations. It's a landscape so unique that it feels like you've stepped onto another planet. Welcome to the Valley of the Moon, where the desert becomes art and every rock tells a story. The Valley of the Moon, also known as Val de la Luna, is located in the province of San Juan. This region is famous for its bizarre rock formations and vast open spaces that stretch out in every direction. When you arrive, the first thing you notice is the silence. The air is dry, the sky is clear, and the landscape feels empty, but in the most beautiful way. It's the kind of emptiness that makes you feel free, like the world has been simplified to its purest form. As you begin to explore, the rocks start to reveal themselves. They have been shaped over millions of years by wind and erosion, forming strange shapes that look like sculptures. Some rocks resemble giant eggs, others look like towers, and some appear as if they are balancing on thin pillars. The formations are so unusual that your mind struggles to understand them. It's like the earth has been molded into abstract art. The colors in the Valley of the Moon are also incredible. The rocks change color depending on the time of day. In the morning, they appear pale and soft, with shades of beige and light brown. As the sun rises higher, the colors become deeper and richer. By afternoon, the landscape turns into a mix of red, orange, and dark brown, creating a dramatic contrast with the clear blue sky. One of the most famous places in this region is the Ixigualasto Provincial Park. This park is known for its unique geological formations and also for being a site where many dinosaur fossils have been discovered. Walking through the park, you can almost feel the history beneath your feet. It's a place where time feels layered, where ancient history and modern beauty coexist. The Valley of the Moon is also a perfect place for stargazing. Because the region is so remote and the sky is clear, the stars shine incredibly bright. At night, the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of light. The silence makes the experience even more powerful. When you look up, you feel like you're standing in the middle of the universe. The best time to visit is during sunrise or sunset. As the sun rises, the rocks begin to glow, and the shadows create a dramatic effect that makes the landscape look even more surreal. At sunset, the sky turns into a palette of warm colors, and the rocks seem to come alive. It's a moment that feels almost spiritual, as if the earth is showing you its true face. Valle de la Luna is proof that Argentina is a country of contrasts. It's a place where you can go from icy glaciers to desert landscapes in a matter of hours. It's a country where nature shows its power in many forms. And this desert region is a reminder that beauty can be found in the most unexpected places. If you're looking for a destination that feels like a dream, a place that challenges your sense of reality, the Valley of the Moon is a must visit. And while this landscape feels like it belongs to another world, the next destination will bring you back to a place full of life, energy, and culture. If you think Argentina is only about wild nature and extreme landscapes, you're about to discover its most vibrant side. The next destination is a city where every street feels alive, every corner holds history, and every moment has a sense of drama. Welcome to Buenos Aires, a city that moves with passion, style, and an energy that never stops. Buenos Aires is the heart of Argentina. It's a city that feels both modern and old at the same time. The architecture looks like it belongs in Europe, with grand buildings, wide avenues, and elegant plazas. But the culture and the spirit are unmistakably Latin American. Buenos Aires is a place where art, music, and food come together to create an atmosphere that is impossible to forget. The first thing you notice in Buenos Aires is the energy. The streets are busy, the cafes are full, and the city feels like it's constantly in motion. People walk quickly, talk loudly, and live loudly. The city has a strong personality. It doesn't try to be calm or quiet. It wants to be felt. One of the most iconic neighborhoods is La Boca. This area is famous for its colorful houses and artistic vibe. The buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, yellow, red, and green, creating a scene that looks like a painting. La Boca is also the birthplace of tango, and the streets are filled with dancers performing in the open air. Watching tango in La Boca feels like stepping into a movie. The music, the movement, the passion. It's a cultural experience that you can feel in your bones. Another must-visit neighborhood is Palermo. This area is trendy and modern, with stylish cafes, boutique shops, and street art that covers entire walls. Palermo is where you can feel the contemporary side of Buenos Aires, the city's creative spirit and its love for design. The parks here are also beautiful, with green spaces that offer a peaceful escape from the busy streets. San Telmo is another neighborhood that captures the soul of Buenos Aires. This area is historic and charming, with cobblestone streets and antique shops. San Telmo is known for its Sunday market, where you can find everything from vintage items to local crafts. The market is full of life, and the atmosphere feels authentic and timeless. Buenos Aires is also a city of music. Tango is not just a dance here, it's a language. The tango shows are intense and emotional, with dancers moving in a way that tells a story. The music is haunting, the movements are precise, and the connection between dancers feels electric. Even if you don't understand the lyrics, you can feel the emotion. The city is also famous for its food. Argentina is known for its steak, and Buenos Aires is the place to experience it. The parrillas, or steakhouses, serve some of the best meat in the world. The flavor is rich, the texture is tender, and the experience feels like a celebration. But the city offers more than just steak. You can find delicious empanadas, fresh seafood, and amazing desserts. And of course, the wine is incredible. Argentina's wines are famous worldwide, and Buenos Aires is the perfect place to enjoy them. As night falls, Buenos Aires becomes even more vibrant. The city lights up, and the streets come alive with music and nightlife. The energy doesn't fade, it changes. The city transforms into a place where people gather, dance, and enjoy life. Buenos Aires is not just a destination, it's a feeling. It's a city that captures the heart. And once you experience it, you understand why Argentina is known for its passion and spirit. And while Buenos Aires is a city full of life, the next destination will take us back into nature, to a place where calm and beauty meet in perfect harmony. If you've ever imagined a place where nature feels like a fairy tale, where lakes reflect the mountains like a mirror, and where the air feels cleaner than anywhere else on Earth, then you're about to discover one of Argentina's most magical regions. Welcome to Bariloche, a town that looks like it belongs in the Alps, but carries the soul of Argentina. Bariloche is located in the Lake District, surrounded by snow-capped mountains, deep blue lakes, and dense forests. The landscape here is so perfect that it feels like someone arranged it. The town itself is charming, with architecture that resembles European alpine villages. But the real beauty is outside the town, where the wilderness stretches as far as the eye can see. One of the first things you notice in Bariloche is the water. The lakes are incredibly blue, with a color so deep it looks almost unreal. When the sun hits the surface, the water sparkles like diamonds. The lakes are surrounded by forests and mountains, creating a scene that feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. The most famous lake is Nahuel Huapi, a massive body of water that seems to go on forever. Taking a boat ride across the lake is an experience that feels like a dream. As you glide across the water, you'll see the mountains reflected perfectly, creating a mirror-like image that makes it hard to tell where the water ends and the sky begins. The silence is calming, but the scenery is intense. It's a place where you can feel the world slowing down. The surrounding mountains are also a major highlight. The peaks are often covered in snow, even during warmer months. Hiking trails lead to incredible viewpoints, where you can see the entire landscape spread out below you. From the top, you can see the lakes, forests, and mountains blending together into a breathtaking panorama. It's a view that makes you feel small, but in a good way, like you're witnessing something truly extraordinary. Bariloche is also famous for its chocolate. The town has a long tradition of chocolate making, and the streets are filled with shops offering delicious treats. Walking through Bariloche, you'll smell the sweet aroma of chocolate in the air. It's the perfect treat after a day of exploring the mountains and lakes. The area is also a paradise for outdoor activities. In winter, Bariloche becomes a world-class ski destination, attracting visitors from around the world. The snow-covered slopes are perfect for skiing and snowboarding. In summer, the region transforms into a hiking and camping paradise. You can explore the forests, climb mountains, and discover hidden waterfalls. One of the most popular routes is the Circuito Chico, a scenic drive that takes you through some of the most beautiful spots around the lake. Along the way, you'll see stunning viewpoints, charming villages, and breathtaking landscapes. The drive is a perfect way to experience the beauty of Bariloche in a single day. The sunsets in Bariloche are unforgettable. As the sun begins to set, the sky turns into shades of orange and pink. The mountains become silhouettes, and the lake reflects the colors like a mirror. It's a moment of pure beauty that makes you feel grateful to be alive. Bariloche is a place where nature feels untouched and pure. It's a destination that combines peace and adventure in a way that few places can. And while this region feels like a peaceful escape, the next destination will take us to a land of colorful mountains and ancient culture. If you think Argentina is all about glaciers and lakes, you're about to discover a completely different side of the country, a place where the earth turns into a canvas of colors, where mountains look painted, and where history feels alive in every corner. Welcome to Salta, the heart of Northwest Argentina, a region that feels like stepping into a living postcard. Salta is famous for its dramatic landscapes and ancient culture. The first thing you'll notice is the sky. It feels wider here, like the world has opened up. The air is dry and crisp, and the mountains rise in bold shapes, creating a scene that feels powerful and timeless. The landscapes here are not just beautiful, they are dramatic. The rocks change color as the sun moves across the sky, turning from red to orange to deep purple. It's a place where nature seems to be performing a daily show. One of the most famous areas near Salta is the Quebrada de Humahuaca. This narrow mountain valley is known for its incredible rock formations and vibrant colors. The mountains here look like they were painted with different shades of red, pink, orange, and green. The colors are so intense that they look unreal, like something created by an artist rather than nature. Walking through the valley feels like walking through a fantasy world. The region is also rich in history. The Quebrada de Humahuaca has been a route for travelers for thousands of years, and the area is full of ancient towns and traditional villages. The culture here is deeply rooted in indigenous traditions, and you can feel the history in the music, the food, and the people. The markets are full of handmade crafts, colorful textiles, and local art that reflects the region's heritage. Salta City itself is charming and full of colonial architecture. The streets are lined with historic buildings, beautiful churches, and wide plazas. The city has a calm and peaceful atmosphere, but it also feels alive with culture. One of the most iconic landmarks is the Salta Cathedral, a stunning building with a grand facade and beautiful interior. The architecture reflects the city's history and gives you a sense of the past. The region is also famous for its vineyards. The high-altitude vineyards in Calafate produce some of Argentina's best wines. The dry climate and sunny days create perfect conditions for growing grapes, especially the famous Torrontés variety. Visiting the vineyards is a unique experience. You can taste the wine while surrounded by dramatic mountains and endless sky. Another unforgettable experience in Salta is taking the train ride through the mountains. The train journey takes you through breathtaking landscapes, crossing bridges and tunnels, while offering incredible views of the valley below. It's a journey that feels like traveling through a different world. Salta is also a place of festivals and music. The local culture is full of traditional music, dance, and celebrations. The sound of folk music fills the streets, and the rhythm of the dances reflects the region's deep connection to its roots. The sunsets in Salta are unforgettable. As the sun sets, the mountains glow with warm colors, and the sky turns into a mix of orange and pink. The landscape feels like it's on fire, and the colors create a scene that stays in your memory long after the sun disappears. Salta is a place that combines natural beauty, history, and culture in a way that feels complete. It's a destination that shows you a different side of Argentina, one that is ancient, colorful, and full of life. And as we continue our journey, the next destination will take us to a coastal city where the ocean meets the cliffs and the sunsets are unforgettable. If you think Argentina's beauty is only found in mountains and deserts, you're about to discover a place where the ocean meets the land with dramatic power. This is a coastal city where the cliffs rise like walls, the waves crash with force, and the feeling of freedom is almost electric. Welcome to Mar del Plata, Argentina's most famous beach destination, and a place where the sea truly comes alive. Mar del Plata is a city that has a special energy. The beaches here stretch for miles, with golden sand and clear water that shines under the sun. The coastline is filled with cliffs and rocky areas that create dramatic views. The sound of the ocean is constant, and the air is filled with the fresh scent of salt and sea. When you walk along the shore, you can feel the city's energy and its connection to the water. The beaches in Mar del Plata are more than just beautiful. They are a way of life. Locals come here to relax, to enjoy the sun, and to spend time with friends and family. The beach culture is strong, and the city feels alive, especially during the summer months. People play beach sports, walk along the shore, and enjoy the ocean breeze. It's a place where time seems to slow down, and the simple things feel important. One of the most memorable experiences in Mar del Plata is watching the waves. The ocean here is powerful, and the waves crash against the rocks with incredible force. The sound is loud and constant, like a powerful heartbeat. The waves create a dramatic scene that feels almost cinematic. When the sun begins to set, the water reflects the colors of the sky, creating a moment of pure beauty. Mar del Plata is also famous for its seafood. The city is filled with restaurants serving fresh fish, shrimp, and other ocean delicacies. The flavors are rich and fresh, and the meals feel like a celebration of the sea. Enjoying seafood while listening to the sound of the waves is an experience that stays with you long after the meal is over. The city also has a lively boardwalk, filled with shops, cafes, and entertainment. Walking along the boardwalk, you can feel the city's lively atmosphere. The energy is contagious, and the city feels like it's always ready to celebrate. The nightlife is also exciting, with clubs, bars, and live music that keep the city alive until late at night. One of the most beautiful moments in Mar del Plata is the sunset. As the sun sets over the ocean, the sky turns into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The waves reflect the colors, creating a scene that feels almost surreal. It's a moment of calm and beauty that makes you feel grateful to be alive. Mar del Plata is a destination that reminds you of the power of the ocean. It's a place where nature feels strong and alive, where the sea dominates the landscape, and where the feeling of freedom is unforgettable. And while this coastal city is full of energy, the next destination will take us to a place of luxury and beauty, a land of vineyards, mountains, and world-class wine. If you think Argentina's beauty is only found in its wild landscapes and vibrant cities, then you're about to discover a place where elegance meets nature, where the air smells like grapes, and where the mountains stand like silent guardians. Welcome to Mendoza, Argentina's wine capital, and one of the most beautiful regions in the country. Mendoza is famous for its vineyards, and it's the heart of Argentina's wine culture. The region is surrounded by the Andes Mountains, creating a stunning backdrop for the endless rows of grapevines. The landscape looks like a perfect painting green vineyard stretching out into the distance, with snow-capped peaks rising in the background. The sun shines almost every day, and the air is clean and crisp, making it an ideal place for growing grapes. One of the most famous wines in the world comes from Mendoza Malbec. This wine has become a symbol of Argentina, and tasting it here feels like experiencing the country's soul. The vineyards in Mendoza are not just beautiful, they are a part of the culture. Wine is a way of life here. The locals take pride in their wine, and the passion shows in every bottle. The best way to experience Mendoza is through a wine tour. You can visit different wineries, learn about the winemaking process, and taste a variety of wines. Each vineyard has its own style and personality, and the experience is both educational and enjoyable. You'll learn how the grapes are grown, how they are harvested, and how the wine is aged. The tasting experience is unforgettable, especially when you're surrounded by the beauty of the vineyards. Mendoza is also a place for luxury and relaxation. Many vineyards offer high-end resorts and spas where you can relax after a day of exploring. The combination of nature and comfort creates an experience that feels both peaceful and indulgent. Imagine enjoying a glass of wine while watching the sun set behind the mountains. It's a moment of pure beauty. The region is also perfect for outdoor adventures. The Andes Mountains offer incredible opportunities for hiking, horseback riding, and even rafting. The landscapes here are dramatic and powerful, with deep valleys and towering peaks. If you're looking for an adrenaline rush, Mendoza has plenty to offer. One of the most popular activities is hiking in the mountains. The trails lead to stunning viewpoints, where you can see the entire region from above. The views are breathtaking. You can see the vineyards, the valleys, and the mountains stretching out into the distance. It's a moment that makes you feel connected to nature in a deep way. Mendoza is also famous for its culinary scene. The food here is rich and flavorful, and it pairs perfectly with the local wines. You can enjoy traditional Argentine dishes, fresh produce, and delicious desserts. The dining experience in Mendoza is a celebration of taste and culture. The sunsets in Mendoza are unforgettable. As the sun sets behind the mountains, the sky turns into shades of orange and purple. The vineyards glow with a golden light, creating a scene that feels almost magical. It's a moment that makes you appreciate the beauty of the world. Mendoza is a place where nature and luxury meet. It's a destination that offers beauty, adventure, and relaxation all in one. And while this region is known for its wine, the next destination will take us to a city where history, culture, and modern life blend together in a powerful way. If you think Argentina's beauty is only in its natural landscapes, then you're about to discover a place where history, culture, and modern life blend together in a way that feels timeless. Welcome to Córdoba, a city that carries the soul of Argentina's past, while also beating with the energy of its future. Córdoba is one of Argentina's oldest cities, and the moment you arrive, you can feel the history in the air. The streets are lined with colonial architecture, with buildings that look like they've been standing for centuries. The city's style is elegant and classic, with grand churches, historic plazas, and a sense of calm that feels rare in a modern world. But Córdoba is not just a city frozen in time. It's alive, vibrant, and full of energy. One of the most iconic places in Córdoba is the Jesuit Block, a historic area that reflects the city's colonial past. This site includes a university, a church, and several buildings that were built by the Jesuit missionaries. The architecture is stunning, with intricate details and grand structures that show the craftsmanship of the past. Walking through the Jesuit Block feels like stepping into a story from another era. The city is also home to beautiful plazas that serve as gathering places for locals. The Plaza San Martin is a central point in the city, where people come to relax, meet friends, and enjoy the atmosphere. The plaza is surrounded by historic buildings and shaded by trees, creating a peaceful and welcoming environment. It's a place where you can feel the rhythm of the city and observe the daily life of Córdoba. Córdoba is known for its cultural scene. The city is home to one of the largest universities in Argentina, which gives it a youthful and creative energy. Students fill the streets, and the city has a strong arts and music culture. You'll find street performers, art galleries, and live music that reflects the spirit of Córdoba. The city feels like a place where creativity is always in motion. But the real beauty of Córdoba is not only in the city itself, it's also in the surrounding landscapes. The Sierras de Córdoba are a range of mountains that offer stunning natural scenery and outdoor adventures. The mountains are green and lush, with hiking trails that lead to waterfalls, viewpoints, and hidden valleys. The landscape is peaceful and refreshing, creating a perfect escape from the city. One of the most popular destinations in the Sierras is the town of Villa Carlos Paz. This area is known for its beautiful lakes and vibrant atmosphere. The lake is surrounded by mountains, creating a scene that feels like a postcard. The town is lively, with restaurants, cafes, and entertainment that make it a popular spot for both locals and visitors. Córdoba y Salsa, famous for its festivals and music. The city hosts cultural events throughout the year, with live music, dance, and theater. The nightlife in Córdoba is lively, and the city feels alive even after the sun goes down. The energy is contagious, and the atmosphere feels welcoming and exciting. The food in Córdoba is another highlight. You can enjoy traditional Argentine dishes, as well as local specialties that reflect the region's culture. The dining experience here is rich and satisfying, and it's a great way to connect with the local lifestyle. Córdoba is a city that shows you a different side of Argentina, a side that is historical, cultural, and full of life. It's a place where the past and present coexist in harmony, creating a unique and unforgettable experience. And while Córdoba offers a glimpse into Argentina's culture and history, the final destination will take us to the heart of the country's soul, the vast Pampas, where the spirit of the Gauchos and the beauty of the open land meet. If you've been following this journey through Argentina, you've already seen glaciers, waterfalls, deserts, cities, and wine country. But the final destination is where you truly feel the soul of this country, a place where the land is endless, the air is open, and the feeling of freedom is stronger than anywhere else. Welcome to the Pampas, the vast grasslands that lie at the heart of Argentina. The Pampas are a landscape of wide open fields, stretching as far as the eye can see. The grass is tall and golden, and the horizon feels like it goes on forever. The sky looks bigger here, and the air feels clean and fresh. There is a calmness in the Pampas that feels different from any other place. It's a peaceful silence, a quiet that makes you feel like you've stepped into another world. The Pampas are famous for their cattle ranches, and for being the home of the Gauchos, Argentina's legendary cowboys. Gauchos are known for their skill with horses and their strong connection to the land. Their lifestyle is simple but powerful, built on tradition, strength, and freedom. Visiting the Pampas gives you a glimpse into a way of life that has been preserved for generations. One of the most iconic experiences in the Pampas is visiting a traditional ranch, known as an estancia. These ranches are large and beautiful, with wide open fields and rustic buildings that feel authentic and timeless. The estancias offer a chance to experience the daily life of the Gauchos, riding horses, working with cattle, and living close to nature. The feeling of being on a ranch is like stepping into a storybook. The horse riding experience in the Pampas is unforgettable. Riding across the open fields, with the wind in your face and the grass passing by, you feel a sense of freedom that is hard to describe. The landscape moves with you, and the world feels wide and endless. It's a moment that makes you understand why the Gauchos are such an important symbol of Argentina. The Pampas are also known for their traditional food. One of the most famous dishes is the asado, Argentina's famous barbecue. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, creating a rich, smoky flavor that is hard to forget. The asado is more than a meal. It's a cultural experience. It brings people together, and it represents the heart of Argentine tradition. The sunsets in the Pampas are incredible. As the sun begins to set, the sky turns into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with a golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful. It's a reminder of how beautiful the world can be when you slow down and watch. The Pampas are also a place of stories and legends. The Gauchos have a long history, and their culture is filled with music, poetry, and tradition. The music of the Pampas is often simple and emotional, reflecting the connection between people and the land. Listening to this music while watching the open fields is a moment that feels deeply meaningful. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, we realize that this country is a world of contrasts. It is a place where the land can be icy and wild, and also warm and peaceful. It is a place where cities are full of life, and the countryside feels calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and once you've experienced it, you understand why it is one of the most incredible places on earth. So, if you ever have the chance to visit Argentina, don't just come for one destination. Come for the whole story. Because this country is not just a place on the map, it's a journey that changes you. If you've been following this journey through Argentina, you've already witnessed glaciers that feel like frozen giants, waterfalls that roar like thunder, deserts that look like alien worlds, cities that pulse with life, and mountains that seem to touch the sky. But now, we reach the final destination, the heart of Argentina's true spirit. This is the place where the land stretches forever, where the horizon never ends, and where the feeling of freedom becomes a real, physical sensation. Welcome to the Pampas, Argentina's vast grasslands, the soul of the country. The Pampas are not just a landscape, they are a way of life. The moment you arrive, you feel the difference. The air feels open and clean, the sky feels bigger, and the silence feels deep in a way that's almost calming. The land here is flat, wide, and endless. The grass sways gently in the wind, creating a sea of green and gold that moves like waves. It's a place where you can truly understand what it means to feel small in a world that is so vast. This region is famous for its cattle ranches and the legendary Gauchos, Argentina's cowboys. Gauchos are more than just riders. They are symbols of freedom, strength, and tradition. Their lifestyle is built around the land and the animals. They live simply, but their spirit is powerful. When you see a Gaucho riding across the plains, it's not just a picture, it's a story. It's a story of a culture that has survived for centuries, and a way of life that has remained unchanged despite the modern world around it. The best way to experience the Pampas is by visiting an estancia, a traditional ranch. These ranches are large, open, and beautifully simple. The buildings are rustic, the land is endless, and the feeling is authentic. When you arrive, you are welcomed not as a tourist, but as a guest. You can feel the history in every corner. The estancias often have large wooden fences, wide fields, and a sense of calm that makes you feel like time has slowed down. One of the most unforgettable experiences is riding a horse across the plains. When you mount a horse in the Pampas, you're not just riding, you're becoming part of the land. The wind hits your face, the grass passes by, and the world feels open in a way that you can't fully describe. The rhythm of the horse's movement matches the rhythm of the land. It's a feeling of freedom that you don't get in cities or mountains. Here, the land is endless, and so is the sense of possibility. The cattle are another important part of life in the Pampas. You'll see herds grazing peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The ranches here are known for their cattle farming, and the region is famous for producing some of the best beef in the world. The animals are raised with care and respect, and the tradition of cattle ranching has been passed down for generations. And speaking of tradition, the Pampas are also where you can experience Argentina's most famous culinary tradition, the asado. Asado is more than a barbecue. It's a cultural ceremony. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, giving it a rich, smoky flavor that is impossible to forget. The smell fills the air, and the taste is deep and satisfying. People gather around the fire, share stories, and enjoy the simple pleasure of good food. It's a moment that shows the true meaning of Argentine hospitality, warmth, generosity, and celebration. The sunsets in the Pampas are something you will never forget. As the sun begins to lower, the sky changes into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with golden light, and the horizon looks like it's burning. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. You realize that this is what the Pampas are truly about: beauty in simplicity and peace in vastness. The music of the Pampas is also a part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air, often with simple melodies and deep emotion. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos, the land, and the culture. Listening to this music while watching the open fields is a moment that feels almost spiritual. It connects you to the history of the land and to the people who have lived here for centuries. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, it becomes clear that this country is not defined by one type of beauty. Argentina is a country of contrasts, from icy glaciers to warm deserts, from bustling cities to quiet plains, from roaring waterfalls to calm grasslands. Every region has its own story, and every story adds a new layer to the country's identity. The Pampas remind us that beauty doesn't always have to be dramatic to be powerful. Sometimes, beauty is found in the quiet, the simple, the endless. Sometimes, beauty is found in the feeling of standing in a place where the land goes on forever, and you realize that the world is bigger than you ever imagined. Argentina is not just a destination, it's a journey that changes you. And the Pampas are the perfect final chapter, a place where the soul of the country is most visible, and where the spirit of freedom is strongest. If you follow this journey through Argentina, you've seen how the country can change its face completely in a matter of hours. From the icy glaciers of Patagonia to the thunderous power of Iguazu, from desert landscapes that look like another planet to cities full of life and culture. Argentina is a country of extremes, but now we arrive at a place that feels like the country's heart, a place where the land stretches farther than the eye can see, and where tradition still lives in every breath. Welcome to the Pampas, Argentina's vast grasslands, where the spirit of the Gauchos still rides strong. The Pampas are a region of open fields and endless horizons. The grasslands are flat and wide, stretching into the distance until they meet the sky. The land is a mixture of green and gold, and the wind moves through it like a soft wave. The first time you see the Pampas, you feel a sense of calm. It's a calm that comes from being in a place where everything is simple, where the world isn't full of noise, and where the pace of life feels slower. The Pampas are deeply connected to Argentina's identity. This is where the country's ranching culture began, and where the Gauchos became legends. Gauchos are Argentina's cowboys, known for their courage, independence, and skill on horseback. They are a symbol of freedom and strength, and their culture is still alive in the Pampas today. When you see a Gaucho riding across the fields, you feel like you're witnessing a living piece of history. One of the most authentic experiences in the Pampas is visiting an estancia, a traditional ranch. Estancias are large properties that often include wide open fields, rustic buildings, and a strong sense of tradition. The moment you step onto an estancia, you feel the history. The land feels alive, and the atmosphere is peaceful. The Gauchos often welcome visitors with warmth and hospitality, sharing their stories and traditions. Horse riding in the Pampas is an experience you'll never forget. The feeling of riding across the open fields, with the wind in your hair and the grass passing by, is a sensation of freedom that is hard to describe. The horse moves steadily, and the landscape seems to move with you. The horizon feels endless, and you realize how vast the world really is. This is the kind of place where you can breathe deeply and feel truly free. The cattle ranches are a central part of life in the Pampas. The region is known for producing some of the best beef in the world, and the ranching tradition is a major part of Argentina's culture. You'll see herds of cattle grazing peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The Gauchos work with the cattle, guiding them, caring for them, and living closely with the land. The connection between the people and the animals is strong, and it reflects the deep respect for nature that exists in the Pampas. Food in the Pampas is a celebration of tradition. The asado, Argentina's famous barbecue, is a cultural ritual here. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, creating a flavor that is rich, smoky, and unforgettable. The smell of the barbecue fills the air, and people gather around the fire to share stories and enjoy the meal. Asado is more than just food. It's a way of bringing people together, a tradition that represents the heart of Argentine hospitality. The sunsets in the Pampas are some of the most beautiful you'll ever see. As the sun sets, the sky transforms into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with a golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. Watching the sunset in the Pampas is a moment that makes you feel grateful to be alive. The music of the Pampas is another powerful part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air, with simple melodies and emotional lyrics. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos, the land, and the culture. Listening to this music while watching the open fields creates a moment that feels almost spiritual. It's a connection to the history of the land and to the people who have lived here for generations. As we end this journey through Argentina, it's clear that this country is a world of contrasts. It's a place where nature can be fierce and gentle at the same time, where cities are full of life, and the countryside feels calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and the Pampas are the perfect final chapter. A place where the spirit of freedom is strongest, and where the true soul of the country is revealed. So, when you think of Argentina, don't think of just one place. Think of a country that changes its face with every mile. A country that makes you feel small, but also makes you feel alive. If you've been traveling through Argentina with us, you've already witnessed landscapes that feel almost unreal: icy glaciers, powerful waterfalls, colorful deserts, and cities that pulse with life. But now, we arrive at the final destination, the place where the true spirit of Argentina becomes visible. This is the Pampas, a vast sea of grass that stretches as far as the eye can see, where tradition lives and where freedom feels like a real physical force. The Pampas are the heart of Argentina. This region is known for its endless fields, wide horizons, and the calm silence that fills the air. The land is flat and open, and the grass moves gently in the wind, like waves on an ocean. The sky here feels larger than anywhere else. When you look out across the Pampas, you realize how small you are in comparison to the world. But instead of feeling lost, you feel free. You feel like the land is giving you space to breathe. The Pampas are famous for their ranches, and for being the home of the Gauchos, Argentina's legendary cowboys. The Gauchos are a symbol of independence and strength. Their lifestyle is simple, but their spirit is powerful. They live in harmony with the land, riding horses across the fields and caring for the cattle. The Gaucho culture is deeply rooted in tradition, and it has been preserved for generations. When you see a Gaucho working in the Pampas, you can feel the history in every movement. Visiting an estancia, a traditional ranch, is one of the most authentic experiences in the Pampas. Estancias are large properties where you can experience the daily life of the Gauchos. The buildings are rustic and charming, and the land is wide open. When you arrive, you are welcomed with warmth and hospitality. The atmosphere feels peaceful, and you can feel the history in the air. Horse riding in the Pampas is an experience that stays with you forever. Riding across the open fields, with the wind in your face and the grass passing by, you feel a sense of freedom that is hard to describe. The landscape moves with you, and the horizon feels endless. It's a feeling that makes you understand why the Gauchos are such an important part of Argentina's identity. The cattle ranches are a central part of life in the Pampas. The region is known for producing some of the best beef in the world. The cattle graze peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The Gauchos work with the cattle, guiding them and caring for them with skill and respect. The connection between the people and the land is strong, and it reflects the deep tradition of ranching in Argentina. Food in the Pampas is a celebration of tradition. The asado, Argentina's famous barbecue, is a cultural ritual here. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, giving it a rich, smoky flavor. The smell of the barbecue fills the air, and people gather around the fire to share stories and enjoy the meal. Asado is more than food, it's a way of bringing people together, and it represents the heart of Argentine hospitality. The sunsets in the Pampas are unforgettable. As the sun sets, the sky turns into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. It's a moment that makes you feel grateful to be alive. The music of the Pampas is also an important part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air with simple melodies and emotional lyrics. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos and the land. Listening to this music while watching the open fields creates a moment that feels almost spiritual. It's a connection to the history of the land and the people who have lived here for generations. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, we realize that this country is a world of contrasts. It is a place where nature can be wild and gentle at the same time, where cities are full of energy, and the countryside is calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and the Pampas are the perfect final chapter, a place where the true soul of the country is revealed. So, when you think of Argentina, remember this. It is not just a country, it is a story of nature, culture, history, and freedom. A story that stays with you long after you leave. If you've traveled through Argentina with us, you've seen how this country can completely transform its scenery in just a few hours. You've witnessed icy glaciers that look like frozen giants, waterfalls that roar like thunder, deserts that feel like another planet, and cities that pulse with life and culture. Now, we arrive at the final destination, the place that reveals Argentina's true spirit. Welcome to the Pampas, the vast grasslands that lie at the heart of this country, where the land stretches endlessly and the sense of freedom becomes something you can feel in your bones. The Pampas are a landscape of open fields, stretching as far as the eye can see. The grass is tall and golden, and the horizon feels like it never ends. The sky looks wider here, and the air feels cleaner, like you can breathe deeper. There's a calmness in the Pampas that feels almost peaceful. The land moves slowly, and the world feels simple. It's a place where the noise of the city fades away, and you can feel the rhythm of nature. The Pampas are known for their ranches and for being the home of the Gauchos, Argentina's legendary cowboys. Gauchos are more than just riders. They are symbols of independence, strength, and tradition. Their culture is deeply connected to the land, and their lifestyle has been preserved for generations. When you see a Gaucho riding across the plains, you feel like you're witnessing a living tradition, a story that has been passed down through time. One of the most authentic experiences in the Pampas is visiting an estancia, a traditional ranch. Estancias are large properties with wide open fields and rustic buildings that feel timeless. The moment you step onto an estancia, you can feel the history. The atmosphere is calm, and the land feels alive. The Gauchos welcome visitors with warmth and hospitality, and you can see their strong connection to the land. It's a place where you can learn about the traditions of Argentina and feel the simplicity of rural life. Horse riding in the Pampas is an experience that stays with you forever. Riding across the open fields with the wind in your face and the grass passing by, you feel a sense of freedom that is hard to describe. The horse moves steadily, and the landscape feels endless. The horizon stretches out, and the world feels open. It's a feeling that makes you understand why the Gauchos are such an important part of Argentina's identity. The cattle ranches are a central part of life in the Pampas. The region is famous for producing some of the best beef in the world. The cattle graze peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The Gauchos work with the cattle, guiding them and caring for them with skill and respect. The connection between the people and the land is strong, and it reflects the deep tradition of ranching in Argentina. Food in the Pampas is a celebration of tradition. The asado, Argentina's famous barbecue, is a cultural ritual here. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, creating a rich, smoky flavor. The smell of the barbecue fills the air, and people gather around the fire to share stories and enjoy the meal. Asado is more than food. It's a way of bringing people together, and it represents the heart of Argentine hospitality. The sunsets in the Pampas are unforgettable. As the sun sets, the sky turns into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. It's a moment that makes you feel grateful to be alive. The music of the Pampas is also a powerful part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air, with simple melodies and emotional lyrics. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos and the land. Listening to this music while watching the open fields creates a moment that feels almost spiritual. It's a connection to the history of the land and to the people who have lived here for generations. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, it becomes clear that this country is a world of contrasts. It is a place where nature can be wild and gentle at the same time, where cities are full of energy and the countryside feels calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and the Pampas are the perfect final chapter, a place where the true soul of the country is revealed. So, when you think of Argentina, remember this. It is not just a destination, it is a story of nature, culture, history, and freedom. A story that stays with you long after you leave. You've reached the final chapter of our journey through Argentina, and if you've watched closely, you'll notice something important. This country is not just a place on the map, it's a living story. A story written by glaciers and deserts, by oceans and mountains, by cities that never sleep and lands that seem to stretch forever. And now, at the end of this adventure, we arrive at the Pampas, the heart of Argentina, where the land opens up like a giant canvas, and the feeling of freedom becomes something you can almost touch. The Pampas are a vast region of grasslands, stretching across the country like a sea of green and gold. The landscape is flat and open, and the horizon seems to go on forever. The sky looks larger here, and the air feels cleaner, like you can breathe deeper. The calmness of the Pampas is almost peaceful, but it also feels powerful. There's a quiet strength in this land, a sense that it has been here for centuries, unchanged and timeless. The Pampas are known for their ranches, and for being the home of the Gauchos, Argentina's legendary cowboys. Gauchos are a symbol of independence and strength, and their culture is deeply connected to the land. They ride horses across the fields, care for cattle, and live a life that is simple but full of meaning. When you see a Gaucho riding across the plains, you can feel the history in every movement. It's a living tradition that has been preserved for generations. Visiting an estancia, a traditional ranch, is one of the most authentic experiences in the Pampas. Estancia are large properties where you can experience the daily life of the Gauchos. The buildings are rustic and charming, and the land is wide open. When you arrive, you are welcomed with warmth and hospitality. The atmosphere is calm, and the land feels alive. You can feel the connection between the people and the land, and you can sense the deep respect for nature that exists in the Pampas. Horse riding in the Pampas is an experience that stays with you forever. Riding across the open fields, with the wind in your face and the grass passing by, you feel a sense of freedom that is hard to describe. The horse moves steadily, and the landscape feels endless. The horizon stretches out, and the world feels open. It's a feeling that makes you understand why the Gauchos are such an important part of Argentina's identity. The cattle ranches are a central part of life in the Pampas. The region is famous for producing some of the best beef in the world. The cattle graze peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The Gauchos work with the cattle, guiding them and caring for them with skill and respect. The connection between the people and the land is strong, and it reflects the deep tradition of ranching in Argentina. Food in the Pampas is a celebration of tradition. The asado, Argentina's famous barbecue, is a cultural ritual here. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, giving it a rich, smoky flavor. The smell of the barbecue fills the air, and people gather around the fire to share stories and enjoy the meal. Asado is more than food, it's a way of bringing people together, and it represents the heart of Argentine hospitality. The sunsets in the Pampas are unforgettable. As the sun sets, the sky turns into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. It's a moment that makes you feel grateful to be alive. The music of the Pampas is also an important part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air, with simple melodies and emotional lyrics. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos and the land. Listening to this music while watching the open fields creates a moment that feels almost spiritual. It's a connection to the history of the land and the people who have lived here for generations. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, it becomes clear that this country is a world of contrasts. It is a place where nature can be wild and gentle at the same time, where cities are full of energy, and the countryside feels calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and the Pampas are the perfect final chapter, a place where the true soul of the country is revealed. So, when you think of Argentina, remember this. It is not just a destination, it is a story. A story of nature, culture, history, and freedom. A story that stays with you long after you leave. As our journey through Argentina reaches its final chapter, it's time to reflect on what this country truly represents. Argentina isn't just a place you visit, it's a story you live. It's a land of extreme contrasts, where nature can be both gentle and ruthless, where cities pulse with energy, and where the countryside feels like it belongs to another time. From the icy glaciers of Patagonia to the roaring waterfalls of Iguazu, from the endless dunes of the desert to the vibrant streets of Buenos Aires, Argentina has shown us that it is a country of many faces. And now, at the end of this adventure, we arrive at the Pampas, the vast grasslands that are the heart and soul of the nation. The Pampas are not just a landscape, they are a way of life. Here, the horizon stretches farther than the eye can see, and the sky feels closer, as if you could reach out and touch it. The grass moves with the wind like waves on an endless sea, and the silence feels so deep that you can almost hear your own thoughts. The land is flat and open, and the air is fresh, carrying the scent of earth and grass. This is a place where the world slows down, where time seems to take a breath, and where the feeling of freedom becomes almost physical. The Pampas are also the birthplace of one of Argentina's most iconic symbols, the Gaucho. These legendary cowboys are more than just figures from history. They are a living tradition. Gauchos are known for their courage, independence, and skill on horseback. They are the guardians of the land, riding across the fields with a calm confidence that seems to come from centuries of experience. When you see a Gaucho working in the Pampas, you feel like you are watching a story that has been passed down through generations. Their lifestyle is simple, but it is powerful, rooted in respect for nature and a deep connection to the land. Visiting an estancia, one of the traditional ranches of the Pampas, is one of the most authentic experiences you can have in Argentina. Estancias are large properties where the land feels endless and the buildings have a rustic charm. The moment you arrive, you can feel the history. The Gauchos welcome you with warmth, and the atmosphere is peaceful. It's a place where you can step away from the modern world and feel what life was like long ago. The daily rhythm here is slow and steady, guided by the land and the animals. Horse riding in the Pampas is an experience that stays with you long after you leave. Riding across the open fields, with the wind in your face and the grass passing by, you feel a sense of freedom that is hard to describe. The horse moves with steady strength, and the landscape feels endless. The horizon stretches out in every direction, and the world feels wide open. It's a feeling that makes you understand why the Gaucho is such an important part of Argentina's identity. The cattle ranches are a central part of life in the Pampas. This region is famous for producing some of the best beef in the world, and the ranching tradition is a major part of Argentina's culture. You'll see herds of cattle grazing peacefully, moving slowly across the fields. The Gauchos work with the cattle with skill and respect, guiding them and caring for them. The connection between the people and the land is strong, and it reflects a deep respect for nature that has been preserved for generations. Food in the Pampas is a celebration of tradition. The asado, Argentina's famous barbecue, is a cultural ritual here. The meat is cooked slowly over an open flame, giving it a rich, smoky flavor. The smell of the barbecue fills the air, and people gather around the fire to share stories and enjoy the meal. Asado is more than food. It's a way of bringing people together. It represents the heart of Argentine hospitality and the spirit of community. The sunsets in the Pampas are unforgettable. As the sun sets, the sky transforms into shades of orange, pink, and purple. The grasslands glow with golden light, and the horizon looks like it's on fire. The silence becomes even deeper, and the moment feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. Watching the sunset in the Pampas is a moment that makes you feel grateful to be alive. The music of the Pampas is another powerful part of the experience. Traditional folk music fills the air, with simple melodies and emotional lyrics. The songs reflect the life of the Gauchos, the land, and the culture. Listening to this music while watching the open fields creates a moment that feels almost spiritual. It's a connection to the history of the land and the people who have lived here for generations. As our journey through Argentina comes to an end, it becomes clear that this country is a world of contrasts. It is a place where nature can be fierce and gentle at the same time, where cities are full of energy and the countryside feels calm and timeless. Argentina is a destination that captures the heart, and the Pampas are the perfect final chapter, a place where the true soul of the country is revealed. So, when you think of Argentina, remember this. It is not just a destination, it is a story. A story of nature, culture, history, and freedom. A story that stays with you long after you leave. If you've made it to the end of this journey, you've seen the true power of Argentina. You've witnessed landscapes that feel like they belong in a dream, places that challenge your imagination and remind you that the world is still full of wonders. Argentina is more than a destination. It's a story of contrasts, of strength, and of beauty that refuses to be ignored. From the glaciers that carve the earth to the endless horizons of the Pampas, this country shows us that nature has no limits. If this video inspired you, imagine what it would feel like to experience Argentina in person. So if you're ready for more adventures, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next destination is just around the corner. And remember, the world is waiting. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.